Mary had a little man.
Mary has nothing.
We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon.
I have a dream today.
Change has come to America.
Keep the faith.
This is going to be a disaster.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Close the down. Close it. Close it now.
Ah, yes, democracy, an old-fashioned word like groceries. Are you an aspiring autocrat, tired of not reaching your full potential? Ever thought, how can I, a power-hungry conman who bankrupted multiple businesses, curb-stomped pesky elections and checks and balances? Well, good news. We've got a foolproof, 5-step concept of a plan just for you. How to destroy a democracy. Step 1. Control the money.
Oh.
Why beg for loyalty when you can just buy it? Simply take control of taxation and spending. Want a country to support you? Hit them with tariffs, not just any tariffs, reciprocal tariffs. And sure, some will poo-poo tariffs, but those whiners, they're for the birds. A fancy way of saying, I'll punish your economy until you be my Lindsey Graham. It's economic warfare and a loyalty test all in one. Step 2. Silence the lawyers. Democracy loves legal nerds who insist on things like the rule of law. Boring. Make sure the biggest law firms know that representing your enemies comes with a hefty price. No more lawsuits, no more investigations, just pure, unchecked power. It's fun to be above the law when you're standing on it like a rug. Step 3. Muzzle the universities. Independent thought, free debate, a breeding ground for dangerous ideas. Make sure colleges understand that their funding and their ability to function depends on how much they praise you. Maybe even mandate a statue. And if they refuse, well, just like those pesky foreign governments, they can face some reciprocal consequences. Step 4. Keep businesses in line. Big industry has too much power. But don't worry. With a few well-placed reciprocal tariffs, you can make every CEO come crawling on their knees. And when they do, well, you just ask for a little favor in return, like public endorsements, campaign donations, and the firing of any employee who dares to suggest you didn't win an Emmy. Step 5. Create the problem, then sell the solution.
It's my favorite.
Make sure the economy is in constant turmoil. Nothing too devastating, just enough pain to make you the only person who can fix it.
Whoops.
Then swoop in like a hero when you fix the very problem you created. Before long, people will be begging you to stay in power forever. And there you have it. 5 easy steps to dismantling a democracy and securing yourself a lifetime of unchecked power. So get out there and start crushing dissent. Just remember, if anyone calls you a dictator, laugh. Say, no, you're the dictator. And then tariff them into oblivion.
Wow, that was well done. I don't know the guy. I just know his YouTube page. So if you're looking for that, you now have it, because Friday we give the show away for free. We don't charge for it. But that if you want it right now, go to YouTube. It's called Newberger's Funny AI. Okay, Newberger, Funny AI. Really, really well done. Really, really smart, because it's absolutely true. And that's why it's freaking funny, hilarious. And not much is today. No, not much is fun today. Not much is funny today. Not much is tolerable today. Most of today will be insufferable. And most of today will take the next 10 years for us to claw our way back from. The stock market, please close it. It's still tanking. The stock market has lost about between 5 and 6% of its value today, and then all said and done, you lost about 10% of everything. I would like to open the phone lines just to hear how much you lost today. Just how much did you lose today? Unbelievable. This is the worst week we have had. Even though they say, oh, invest. Oh, you pull yourself up from your bootstraps. Oh, make yourself, self-reliant. Do your thing. Make sure, you have savings. And you know what? Now, having savings, it's going to be the difference between who survives this crap and who does not. Really, it is. People have got to have some money set aside to weather this freaking storm. Because it's on. This is a game. He's playing it. There's no sense to it. There's no through line about like why. Nobody understands why. Nobody understands what this is. That stupid Greek, equation. That's right. I failed algebra many times, multiple times. Yes.
I failed algebra too.
Did
time
you?
and time again. Yes.
And it wasn't for lack of studying. It's just something in our brains that doesn't function, that doesn't click with it, that doesn't get it, that doesn't see it, that can't do it. Like, you drop a minus sign or something like that, and you get the total wrong answer. And then the whole FOIL thing, is it inside the parens first or outside the parens? And, please. My ex-husband can vouch for me, because we went back to college together, and we used to sit at my kitchen table, and we would study for 8 freaking hours. 8 hours before every single stinking test. 8 hours, okay? It was me, him, and his mom. We all went back to college together. And they would come out of the math class, and they would have, Jimmy would get an A, like 100%, 98, whatever. Alice, rest her soul, she was a great, I had the best mother-in-law. She would get an 80, something like that, and I would fail. I can't do math. The idea that I could manage numbers like a trillion, no, I have to look for, illustrations. Like a trillion would get you to the moon and back 9 times if you laid the dollar upon the dollar. That's how I deal with it. But anyway, this is nightmare territory. This is actually nightmare territory. It's going to take us years to get back to where we were before he was president. Going forward. This is just so sick. But you have to have some money saved. You do. I feel so scared, so terrified, and I am not one of these people who couldn't save or didn't save or wouldn't save or thought you didn't have to save. I don't know. Because I knew better after 2008. I freaking knew. I always, when I work for corporate, and I'm sure a lot of you have this experience, what's stunning to me is that if you watch Fox News today, if you watch them yesterday, if you watch them when this whole debacle started, the reason for these tariffs has just it has changed so radically day after day after day. And then yesterday they gave us this equation that I swear to you I could not understand. Thank God there are some people who, did a little bit better in school than I did and are actually willing to say, I only did a little bit better than you, Randy, but let me explain what I think this equation was showing you. It looks like he would just put down a country's deficit, meaning the amount of goods that we import from that country, the amount of goods that country exports to us, and then put that in the equation and divide whatever your answer is over 2 and say that is the amount we're going to tariff them. It has absolutely, it's meaningless. It's stupidity. It was just put there to bamboozle people like me. Like somebody, I had to like, what does this equation mean? Is there like a real method to this madness? And anybody who could do the math, anybody who looked at it for me, anybody that looked at it for you said, no, it's bull crap. It makes no sense to anybody. It's just, it has nothing to do with reciprocal. He has tariffed countries where we have a trade surplus. Literally have a trade surplus. I believe Vietnam is one of those countries. And he just tariffed them 34%. It's so insane. And every day when you ask him why he's doing it, he changes. Like, I'm not negotiating. This is for real. We're going to, actually bring manufacturing back. Then yesterday on Air Force One, he said, oh, no, we're going to negotiate. You'll see all the countries are calling, everybody. And then Witkoff goes on TV or Lutnick goes on TV and goes, no, this isn't a negotiation. No, this is real.
All things Randy at RandyRhodes.com.
Go
for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
Good to be with you. I'm Katie Tur. An hour left before the markets close for the weekend, and the word of the last hour of this absolutely bonkers week is yikes.
Yeah.
Here's where the markets stand right now. The S&P 500 is down 5.5%. The Dow is down about 5%. It's been hovering around there. And the NASDAQ down more than 5%. Again, nearly everything is in the red, and the worst of it could still be on the way.
How do you like them now? Oh, my God. 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 And, you know, Stephen Miller was just on the TV trying to reassure MAGA that this was all by design, that, you know, this is good for you. This is
We've
good.
only got a few seconds left, but people are throwing around the R word, and they see the Dow down 2,100 points, and people are worried about a recession. They're worried that we can't do this without sending this economy into such a deep dive that we can't come back from it.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are all about growth. I know you're about lowering taxes, rolling back regulations, and seeing that growth. Are you concerned that this is going to put us into a recession?
The exact opposite. We inherited from Joe Biden an economy in total free fall.
What?
We've only got a few seconds left, but people are throwing around the R word, and they see the Dow down 2,100 points, and people are worried about a recession. They're worried that we can't do this without sending this economy into such a deep dive that we can't come back from it. And I know you guys are all about growth. I know you're about lowering taxes, rolling back regulations, and seeing that growth. Are you concerned that this is going to put us into a recession?
The exact opposite. We inherited from Joe Biden an economy in total free fall.
Man, they lie so easily, don't they? They just lie with such ease. You got to kind of wonder when you see somebody lie that easily, when you see somebody lie that effortlessly, where they're not even like, you know, searching their mind to see if the lie is going to walk them into a bad place that they didn't really intend to get to. Or no, when they lie this easily, you got to ask yourself, do they believe their own rhetoric? Like, do they believe this crap at all, or are they just so good at lying? I don't know the answer to it. Nobody does. I was watching Jerome Powell, the Fed Reserve Chairman, and he was saying today, you know, listen, we don't make predictions about you know, the likelihood of recession. We don't do, you know, the probability tree, kind of what JP Morgan does. We don't do that. We just, you know, but I'll tell you this right now. It looks to us as if we're going to have very low growth. It looks to us as if we're going to have very high inflation. And we just have to wait and see what the explanation for all of this is. Because here at the Fed, we don't know. We are as uncertain as every business owner in this country, as every mega CEO, every business owner, every storefront on Main Street. We're just as confused and just as, you know, wanting. We're just wanting as much as you do an explanation for all this. Like, what is the end game, or what is the plan, or why are you doing this? What are you trying to accomplish? Because if you're trying to bring manufacturing back, it's already come back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy, but it's high-tech manufacturing. Like, did we really want to bring Indonesian sweatshops back? Is that what they're trying to do? Because I will tell you, in Ohio, Joe Biden, with the Inflation Reduction Act, with the Chips and Science Act, with the infrastructure bill that became law, he actually managed. Let's just look at one state because, oh, by the way, I owe an apology to Tom in Ohio from yesterday. I don't know if if he would still listen to us after yesterday, because I confused you, Tom, with another Tom, a nasty Tom, a very horrible Tom. Now, I realize you're a Republican, Tom, but that's okay. That's okay. But no, I confused you with another Tom who never lets me get a word in edgewise, always attacks. And so when you started with me on the, well, I just stumbled across your station thing, and you're obviously supported by George Soros. Well, you know, I mean, let's start with an insult the way the other Tom does. And then I thought you were him. And so, you know, but you're not him. So if you want to have at it again, if you want to try it again, I'm open. I'm good. I'm good. But I just, you know, wanted to tell you that in Ohio, under President Joe Biden, I know, too old for you. You're probably as old as he is, but too old. Donald Trump is what? 3 years younger, but he's too old. Joe Biden's too old. Okay. In Ohio, there was a battery plant that was opened in 2022. That was a joint thing between South Korea, LG and Honda. $4.4 billion was invested in that battery plant. Then you have a new semiconductor plant that was invested in. That's like a $20 billion investment that we made in New Albany, Ohio, smack in the middle of your state. And then Lordstown, after Donald Trump managed to, lose it, after he told the people in Lordstown, Ohio, not to sell their houses, that he was going to get their back, he had them. Don't worry. The freaking plant closed, right? Joe Biden came, and Joe Biden turned that plant into an EV plant, and now all bets are off because, Donald Trump doesn't want to see any EVs, I guess, to compete with Tesla. I don't know. I don't know what that ugly little theory in his head is about. Teslas are good, but EVs are bad because Teslas are EVs. I just don't even understand. In fact, Teslas are 100% EVs. 100%, not hybrids. Not hybrids. Just 100%. Anyway, just thought I would review that with you. But expect no growth. Expect high prices. And then on top of it, lose your nest eggs. And if you're still working, God love you, lose your job because there will be layoffs. And just jot this down. This was chosen. This was man-made. And the man that made it was Donald Trump. The man that made it, the man that chose it. Biden's economy was good. It wasn't great for everybody, but it was damn good for a lot of people. A lot of people. We were working on the rest. Now, you tell me what Donald Trump's plan is by crashing our savings. And then at the same time, they're debating a bill in the Senate now. It's an $8 trillion tax bill. $8 trillion. But it literally decimates Medicaid. Literally decimates Medicaid so that he can give another $8 trillion worth of tax cuts, unpaid for, really, to the richest Americans on this planet. Okay, so that said, they're doing an destroying things like LIHEAP, which 6.2 million Americans, believe it or not, are poor enough to qualify for heating aid to heat their homes in the winter and to help pay their electric bills as the globe warms in places that now get record high temperatures in the summertime. And he's destroying FEMA. How does that help anybody in Arkansas or Oklahoma or even in North Carolina, who are still trying to recover from Helene? We're just coming into hurricane season here in Florida. How does destroying FEMA, Medicaid, LIHEAP, but giving tax breaks to the top, the tippy top, and imposing these untenable tariffs on people that we actually have trade surpluses with, how is that a good idea? Somebody's going to have to explain it to me. That's why I invited Tom, come on back. Because I think maybe you had a shot at, I don't know.
Call in, connect. To speak to Randi, call 561-270-3844.
561-270-3844. It's pretty striking that literally Donald Trump, all he had to do was do nothing. He could sit there, watch Fox News all day, sit with the remote control, occasionally tweet, and then on weekends go down to Mar-a-Lago and play golf. But he just had to purposely go about ruining this economy. With the exception of COVID and perhaps the Great Recession in the fall of 2008 when it began, I don't remember any other period in which you've had a Federal Reserve so quickly revise their projections from about 4% growth expected to now 4% decline. That is an 8-point swing in the economy in just 2 months. I have, again, with the exception of COVID and the beginning of the Great Recession, I have never seen anything like it. And this is not because of the normal economic cycle. This is not because of a pandemic. This is literally all man-made, made by one man, Donald Trump.
That's Representative Brendan Boyle. That's exactly what I was saying. That's exactly. He was on a show earlier today. I just, it's mind blowing. it's mind-blowing that he is so vindictive, that he is so hostile about the way he was treated by America, that he wants to burn it down to the ground. I mean, this was a working theory that a lot of us had when he was running in 2024 against Kamala. There was a lot of, discussion about if you give him the reins of power again, he will burn this place down to the ground. Scorched earth, I called it. Other people called it other things. But everybody understood that there was this really good percentage, a really good chance that Donald Trump would take retribution against the entire country. And that is what well, it's worse. It's the entire world. The entire world. And it's just breathtaking that you would have an American president doing this to the world and doing it with our name underneath it. I mean, literally, above our name, USA, he is breaking every single business arrangement we've ever had. All the trust in the world is out the window. He has retaliated against, wait for it, our allies and you, who did nothing but work your whole life, invest, have a family, play by the rules. Oh, speaking of play by the rules, why are all the really disgusting lowlifes, why are they all part of MAGA? What is going on there? What is that disgusting thing that happens there? You know who was arrested today? Oh, what's his face?
Russell Brand.
Yes.
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand is a maggot, but he's from London, just like the Tate brothers, okay? He was charged today, Russell Brand and his MAGA hat and his Make Jesus Great Again, sort of wheelhouse that he plays in on his podcasts, was arrested today in London for 5 counts of rape, including oral rape, oh, God, and sexual assault. Now, these are all maggots. All of these people, why do they all hang together? Why are they all friends? How come they not only know each other, but they're all wearing red MAGA hats? What is the dealio with that? Now, I asked Howard what it was, and Howard said it's a bro culture. It's men trying to feel more masculine. And, the more that they, abuse women, or the more that they think they're getting away with raping women or hurting women or whatever, the more manly they feel, because they're really not, strong men. They're not good men. They're not decent men. They don't know what the hard thing really is. And so it's their bro culture that pulls them all together. All right, I accepted that. Then I came in and I asked Brett, because, Brett's the next 2 generations down from me and Howard. And I asked him, and he said it's pure evil. It's just evil. It's the evil that, bonds together, whether it's, economic evil, or it's sexual evil, or it's an affront against religion that isn't evil. They want to introduce evil into religious people who look to religion to, believe in something bigger and better than themselves. They want to, make their religion, sort of the evil version of that and get away with it. I don't know. I can't explain it to you, but they all freaking hang together. They all know each other. The Tate brothers, Donald Trump brings them here, even though they're under house arrest in freaking Romania for human trafficking of minor women, minor girls. Holy crap. I mean, this is just some crew you elected, man. This is some crew. The thing that I tell myself that gives me some solace is that he only won by about 1%. Now, he lies about this mandate he thinks he has to destroy everything, but it does mean that 1% of this country, more than the other 49% of this country, are totally down with this, or were. I don't know when it's going to dawn on them. I don't know if today was the day. I don't know if it, because he's calling it Liberation Day. It's Liquidation Day. Obviously, people, you know what it is when the stock market tanks. That's people selling. That's people selling off. And who could afford to sell when stocks are so low? Who could afford to do that? That's right, rich people. Do you know what I'm saying? I just like it's the most amazing thing to see the value of our markets tank in front of our faces, in front of our eyes, and have Fox News sit there. You know, Jeanine Pirro, I didn't pull it, but it's out there. But Jeanine Pirro actually sat on Fox News last night or the night before. I can't remember. It's all merging together as one awful blob of a week, saying, I don't care about my 401k now. I don't care. Of course you don't care. You probably have $40 million banked, okay? It's probably under your mattress, you freak. And then, I'm listening to Harris Faulkner, who probably makes, a quarter of whatever it is they pay Jeanine to be, sleeveless at the age of 70 or whatever it is, I mean, it's just pretty shocking. But she said the same thing. You gotta kind of eat it now. You gotta just be, sacrifice your 401k, sacrifice your retirement. She said to the retirees that watch Fox News, she said to them, you're gonna have to take one for the country. You're just gonna have to do without. What the? So now they're going after Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, FEMA, like no one's coming to get you. And produce. It's like unbelievable. Produce, that's where you'll feel it first. You'll feel it in the produce aisle. You'll feel it in, fresh vegetables and good food, which is so interesting because, RFK, who fired like 10,000 people at Health and Human Services, he would want you to be able to buy broccoli. He would want you to be able to buy oranges and lemons and bananas. Potassium is very necessary for, not getting dizzy during the day. But honestly, it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. Everybody's going to have to go back to red stripe bologna fried in a pan. And soup is now going to be ketchup and hot water. Maybe you're lucky you get a saltine.
Clear. This is the Randi Rhodes Show. To speak with Randi, dial 561-270-3844. That's 561-270-3844.
Oh, my God. All right. John in Minnesota. Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, I lost $75,000 in the yeah, but of course that doesn't account for today, which is the grand total will probably be about 100,000. I'm sure when the day is through.
Oh
here.
My God! Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh my God! And how do you cope and deal with a number like that? Is it?
Well, it's just depressing and it's totally unnecessary. And I blame Donald Trump and tariffs. Totally unnecessary, will destroy the economy, and also the Doge, project of, basically getting rid of most of the federal government will have such a ripple effect. If his policies don't change radically, we're looking at a depression. And I'm not an economist, but anybody with, two brain cells working in the frontal lobe can figure this out.
Yeah.
And I think that he wants this to happen because he's angry. He's an angry, mean little boy. And he just wants to get back at the rest of the world, all of us, the universities, federal workers, children, grandma who's in the nursing home. Everyone is going to suffer. So we're back at our grandparents and great-grandparents' generation all in 3 months. It's wonderful. I just, yeah.
I hear you. I feel the same way. I feel exactly what you're feeling. I feel like this was man-made. He's doing it because he's evil and he said he was going to do this. I guess the people that voted for him just didn't want to believe him. Well,
No, they didn't, and I don't understand how you can pick somebody. I'm originally from New York. So atrocious. He's trashed everything he's ever touched. He's screwed over so many people. He hung out with the worst mafiosa pieces of crap.
Yeah.
And here we are. He is in the presidency the second time.
I mean, it's as if Roy Cohn. It's as if we elected Roy Cohn for president. I mean, it is. It is that. It's just.
Yep. Well, you got it. Yep.
Well, you're a good sport. Thanks, John. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend. And Don in California, how much?
500,000.
What?
This is from when Trump first took office until now.
$500,000.
Yes. Yes.
So okay, I'll just do quick math in my head and figure out that you.
Okay. No.
No.
Basic.
No.
Well, okay. Go ahead and do your math, but essentially,
I suck at math, so you don't really want me to do it. $5 million. Go ahead.
Okay. The bottom line is I don't own all of the big companies in there that have dropped. I own Apple and Microsoft and other things. So my wealth is sort of being held up a little bit. But 500,000. I fully expect to lose between $1 million and $1.5 million before he is gone.
Oh my God! How do you cope and deal? Do you take your money out? Do you put it in cash? What do you do?
No. No. I fully expect the market to come back.
Okay.
I do my own trading, and so I have quality companies. Yes, I am hurting, but oh well. My wife and I are retired. We have quite a bit of wealth, so it hurts.
Yeah.
But it's the people that are trying to access their 401ks. They're the ones that are going to get hurt.
Yeah.
One thing that Warren Buffett had said: "It's the time in the market. It's not time in the market."
Right.
True. This is a bad time, but I would still encourage people to invest in their 401ks. They will need it in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I remember 2008. I was a corporate girl. I worked for Clear Channel, obviously, and I, they had a very nice 401k plan, and they would match certain amounts, and I saved and saved. I saved hard. I maxed out my contributions. I did the right thing, right? And then all of a sudden, we had George W. Bush come as president and crash the economy with a housing debacle. Lying and making liar loans and cheating and packaging up good loans with bad loans, chopping them into like little bowls with all salmonella. And it's like if you had a good head of cabbage and a head of cabbage with salmonella, good mortgages, bad mortgages, and then he chopped them all up, put them in one whole bowl. Now the whole bowl's tainted, and sold it as being good stuff. I got hit with that, and I only recovered maybe 5 years ago from 2008. From 2008, the losses that I encountered is just a working average kind of a person who had a, not an average job, but, just average savings and decimated. And now I'm sort of at this age where I'm like, I should be retired, but I'm not. And what if, how long is it going to take me to recover so that I can, God forbid, forego the Social Security that he's trying to take away anyway? I mean, I don't have another 15 years to save, Yeah. So there's a lot of us. There's few of you, but there's a lot of us. I admire you, but because losing that much money would, I would be in a fetal position under 4 blankets with, my dog, and that would be it.
Yeah, I'm in the other room from my wife because when she hears me talk about this stuff, that's how she acts. And
I don't
tell
blame
her.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, on the good days, I tell her on something like this, I just sort of wait and I'll wait until there's a good day and then let her know. But as far as I am concerned, though, this will be a depression and such. But ultimately, I still have faith in the market that it will ultimately, I don't know when the bottom is, but it will begin to gain again. That's just the way I've always operated.
You're just being a sunny optimist who has, a nice cushion. So I agree that, you're probably in a good spot, but
that it's all you can do.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I manage my own stuff, and so hey, if there's a problem, I'll just move my my money if I need to.
So that's the question I'm asking you. Where would you move it to? What are we doing here? What should I do? What should I mean, if anybody would know, it would be you, no?
In this particular case, in the past, I have purchased companies that I feel were good, strong companies. And yes, they've been hit. Actually, keep in mind that the market is made up of it's a market of stocks. And so you don't have to buy all of them. Problem is we roll it to the 401ks and they will end up buying an index fund.
Right.
And man, I'd love to explain the stock market to you, but it's just so boring.
I kind of know what you're saying because I had a 401k and then I didn't have a 401k and now, I have to do my stuff, the way that I have to do it. So it's not a 401k anymore. And Howard owned, see, this is the beauty of Howard, though. Howard owned, he's my significant other. He owned one stock, Don. I know it's going to make you sweat bullets, but he only owned one stock. He only owned Tesla. That was it. And he bought it at the beginning. And when it got to like 4, almost 5, I started saying to him, you need to sell that. Donald Trump's going to win, and you need to sell that. He didn't want to hear from me. But when it started to go down just ever so slightly, went down to $479. I said, please. And he did. He sold it. And that's the only thing that's between us and the poorhouse. Because if you left it to me,
Now, one thing to consider, the people with 401ks with the indexes, there are really only 7, maybe arguably 10 stocks that are currently really, really, really moving the market.
Yeah.
Tesla is one of them.
Yeah.
And when that one stock drops, everyone with their 401k also goes down.
Yeah.
Anyway, there are a number of things going on with these big companies, bringing them down. And if you didn't own them, if you just owned your own stock and you picked your own companies, you wouldn't necessarily own a Tesla. I certainly wouldn't own a Tesla.
Right, I hear you. I get you. But I'm sorry to cut you off, but we're right up against the break here. But what I'm saying is there's the other way to go, right, where you buy a lot of different companies that you think the PE ratio looks good for. He only bought one.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon.
I have a dream today.
Change has come to America.
Keep the faith. This is going to be a disaster.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
When one person, when a few stand with the courage, that is the courage exhibited by the leaders in this room every day, to stand, to have the courage to say, I feel fear. The courage to say what is happening is wrong. The courage to say that there is a way that we must chart to get through this. Understanding our power in the democracy we still have if we hold on to it. Courage is contagious.
What could have been, everyone? What could have been? That, of course, was former Vice President Kamala Harris speaking at a summit of women leaders earlier this evening. It's one of the first times we've seen her speak out since her November election loss. She hasn't been out there a ton. We'll see if she comes out more. She also spoke about the current state of fear in our country.
We are seeing organizations stay quiet. We are seeing those who are capitulating to clearly unconstitutional threats. And these are the things that we are witnessing each day in these last few months in our country. And it understandably creates a great sense of fear. Because, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here, so I told you so.
Yeah, you can. If you don't, I will. She told you so. I told you so. So many of us told you so. We all said that he was going to burn this place down to the ground. And, it's not confined to us. He's, he's like I swear to God, Elon Musk is like the perfect Bond villain, except for Donald Trump. Except for Donald Trump, who's more perfect in the role of Bond villain, because that's what we're watching. We're watching a freaking Bond movie. We're watching this guy, destroy the entire world. And there's very little, that anybody can do except for James Bond.
And I said before, and some of the long fans will remember that I said before Elon got involved so heavily in our government that he was the Bond villain.
Oh, yeah.
And so I can only assume that the laser sharks ate Bond, and this is what it looks like when Bond does. Yeah, when Bond doesn't win at the end of those movies, this is what it looks like.
But he does win.
Not this time.
Oh, come on.
Where is he, James? Where are you?
Well, you just saw her. I mean, what if the new generation of Bond is Jane Bond? What if that's hello?
I'll take it.
Right.
I'll take it.
Right. Listen, I have always believed that it's going to be a black woman who's going to save us from ourselves. Seriously, dude, I believe that. I will always believe that. I have believed that ever since W. And no one will give her a shot. Now, 1% of the people who stayed home caused this. That is who is at fault here. It is the people who said that Joe Biden was responsible for a genocide. Oh, my God. And I don't even want to go there. I'm not even going there. But that's why we are where we are. That's exactly why we are where we are. People they just stayed home. They just bought into a whole load of bullcrap and they stayed freaking home. And this is what it looks like. The whole world burns. The whole world. Horrible. All right, Mike in California.
Hi, I'm knocking on retirement's door, meaning I'm 64 now. I was planning to retire when I turn 65 in December.
Yep.
And the only thing, so I decided I was going to do it in July, take COBRA, get me to Medicare, and move on with my happy life. I had a very, very good 401k. I was like almost $2 million.
Nice.
I lost $300,000 today.
Yeah, just today, or was that for the week?
Today and yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you.
But it was it's been going down and down, over the past few weeks. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down.
Yeah.
But the last 2 days have been just a bloodbath, and so.
Yeah.
And then the reason, and then I canceled my retirement in July because of the fact that I'm not sure if somebody's going to be there to take my application for Medicare.
I hear that. I hear that. I haven't applied for Social Security. I share that with the audience regularly. And, of course, I can because I am, over 66 in 6 months, believe it or not. And so I can, but I don't. I want to try. I want to try and make it as old as I can make it before I ask for it, right? Because it goes up. My
plan was to do it at 67. Get Social Security at 67, but get Medicare now.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And if they're not going to take my, that's what I'm worried about. I get up to the door and they say, "Oh, there's nobody here to take your application."
Well, Medicare, you can still do it. I would do it if I were you, as soon as possible on your 65th birthday. I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah, I would go get it.
Yeah, I can't do that until June. I think.
No,
I think there's a period of time before you turn 65 to do it.
Yeah, there is. I think it starts in October.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But
as soon as I can.
Well, good luck to us.
Yep.
Thank
okay.
you. Thanks for sharing.
Have a good day.
I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye. Seth in L.A.
Hey, Randy, this is a testament to how much I love you. I was not looking at my account, but because you asked, I did.
Well.
And since I can't tell you from today and yesterday, but since Biden left office,
yeah,
I'm down 300,000. and I'm retired. I'm a retired teacher. I was socking away the max that I could. My husband still works. He's older than me. I'm 60. I'll be 69. He's 71.
Yeah.
He's not going to retire.
You're 69 because I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you are. You were in my my promo video, right?
Yes, with the red glasses.
That's you. Yeah, the round red glasses. That's you. Yes, I know exactly. You're adorable. You're adorable. I know exactly who you are. Well, you look great for 69. Good, oh my God, you look so good. So good.
I know. Nobody ever believes me. My whole life I've always looked young for my age.
Yeah.
And now
it's a good
off.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So, how do we deal with this? For me, I just watch a lot of reruns of Dark Shadows and the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Dark Shadows? Is that somewhere I could watch that with Barnabas Collins? Really? And
yes.
Angelique?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Get out of here. Yes. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm telling you, it's the best escape. I'm still in the first year before Barnabas shows up. But
oh my God. Okay, so when I was going to school, I would come home and that would be on, and my mother would never let me watch it because I would have bad dreams. So I used to have to sneak to watch it, and then I got addicted to it, and I would go to my friend Ramona's house to watch it. Okay, so I know exactly what you're watching. Oh, that's crazy,
Randy. Okay, can I come clean about something since you brought up this old memory about my mother and Dark Shadows?
Okay.
I was 13, and I had a dentist appointment, and it was a crucial day on the show, and I begged my mother to cancel the appointment so I could stay home and watch it, and she wouldn't. But when I got to the dentist, she had the dentist set up a little TV set in the dentist office, and I should have been so grateful. It was so beautiful, but as a 13-year-old, I was so embarrassed. And to this day, I always tell my mom, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's why you're the sweet guy that I thought you were. That's why. You had a great mom. She really loved you. She really did. I didn't even know. Dark Shadows, everybody. Okay. You know what you do got to watch, though? I know it's an oldie but a goodie, and I always retread it. Network.
All things Randy at RandyRhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again. To bring down the prices of all goods. Starting the day I take the oath of office, I will rapidly drive prices down, and we will make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again. And we're going to get the prices down. We have to get them down. It's too much. Groceries, cars, everything. We're going to get the prices down. A vote for Trump means your groceries will be cheaper. So many people mention, so many people mention groceries. That beautiful but simple word, groceries. Sir, my groceries.
Sir, my groceries. How'd that work out for you, MAGA? How'd that work? Is that working out for you? Because it's not day one anymore. You understand that? He has been there less than 3 months, but he has managed to tank the global economy in less than 3 months. Now, if you want to celebrate that in this weird way, that it's really pretty, stunning. It's really pretty stunning that an American president would tank the global economy in less than 3 months. Is an interesting, noteworthy, memorable detail that most of us would like to forget, but will never be able to. Never be able to. You know that guy from Barstool Sports? What's his name? David
Portnoy. Yeah.
What's his name? David Portnoy.
Yeah.
He's on Twitter. I can't play because he cursed. He's on Twitter saying he lost $7 million today, and his head is in his hand, and he's sweating, and he's upset. Isn't he a MAGA?
He is absolutely MAGA, loud, and proud, and dumb on social media. Absolutely.
How'd that work out for you? He's literally crying on the Twitter, on the X, on the Elon. He's literally losing his mind. $7 million he lost in the last 2 days. Last 2 days. Doesn't that mean that he's worth $70 million?
He's actually fairly savvy. He sold his company for millions, and then the purchaser ruined it, and he bought it back for $1. He's a savvy dude. He's a big D-bag, though. Huge D-bag vibes.
Really?
Big time. But his pizza reviews are pretty entertaining.
Okay, so there's that. He's a douchebag. He deserves to lose. All right. Because at first I'm watching him, and I'm like, oh, if you're looking for it, it's in the Tennessee Hollers Twitter feed. Apparently he lives in Tennessee. I think he's not from there. He doesn't have that accent. But sitting there almost inconsolably crying, okay? It's just this is what's happening to the manosphere. They're just they're melting. So in the end, for those of you who've been told by the manosphere that 80% of women are only attracted to 20% of men, that's a lie. I just want you to feel encouraged that the people who told you these lies about you and your ability to be yourself and find the lid for your pot, because there is one for everybody. Every single body has a person out there. They do. And I know the manosphere has told you you don't. To try and make you feel bad about yourself, to try and make you feel small, to try and make you feel insignificant. Don't listen to them, because in the end, they're all snowflakes. In the end, they're all sitting there holding their red MAGA hat, rubbing their head and the sweat off of it, going, I lost $7 million. David in Georgia.
Randy, how are you?
Hey.
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 So I've been trying. I've got a good bit of evidence on.
Evidence?
None of this would be happening if Kamala actually won the election, correct?
Yes.
And yet, it's not our favorite subject, is what Brent has told me.
Brett told you?
And I'm glad he put me on. But I'm seeing a lot of evidence that there was a lot of vote manipulation in the 2024 election. I think we should say that.
Well, I can't say that.
So you don't believe the ETA and Greg Palast and Smart?
No.
Why would you not believe those organizations?
Well, because if they had any evidence, they would go to, Mark Elias, who brings these cases, and they would have the case heard once every 30 years, because they make these claims every election, every time, and I see nothing. I see no evidence ever. I just hear a bunch of jabberwocky. I hear a bunch of babble, and I never see anything. I never see a case. I never see a brief. I never see evidence. I never see tables. I never see numbers.
They have gone to certain counties. Now, they don't have all the money in the world, of course, right?
But that's why you go to Democracy Docket and you give them your evidence, because Mike Elias is one of the Mark is one of those people. Perkins Coie and those law firms, they bring those cases. There were 60
This
cases.
has to happen in a timely.
There were 60
This has to happen in a timely manner to contest an election.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. And so who can do that, and how much money does it cost? Let's say you're Kamala Harris and you have $200 million end of the election.
Yeah.
Wouldn't she be the one who would do that?
Yes, and if Greg Palast had evidence, he should give it to her.
Well, it's too late now.
Yes, but if he had... Okay,
right?
Yes, it's too late.
But it's not too late to say...
It is too late. It's way too late. And if he had any evidence, because he does this every election cycle, every single one, he wants to know why we're not friends. I've never really talked about it because I haven't talked to him in 20 years. But if he wants to know why, this is the reason why. This is the reason why. If you had evidence that the election was stolen from Kamala Harris, I would think the natural thing to do is to give her the evidence. First of all, she's a prosecutor, right? She's really good at that. And second, she had so much money, so much, because she was running for president. And she's the aggrieved party, right? I'm not wrong about that. So please leave me alone with that, really, because you're making me say things about people I haven't talked to in 20 years, okay? And I really, I don't like doing that. It just feels wrong. Mike in L.A.
Hey, National Day of Action tomorrow, April
Yes,
5th.
that's right. And
Indivisible.org.
Indivisible.org, exactly. National Day of Action tomorrow. It's called Hands Off tomorrow.
Yes.
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 Yes. And it is a massive protest nationwide organized by Indivisible by zip code. So wherever you are, go to indivisible.org, put your zip code in, and you will get, because I saw a whole bunch of places I could go tomorrow to protest, a whole bunch.
Yes, and they're sponsoring the protest in front of the Tesla dealers too. There's been lots of them. Rachel Maddow had it on,
and it's succeeding. Those are seriously well done protests, well organized, well attended, and the results from them are really especially good. Good. Yes, I agree with you. So I did put it in the homework in case you forgot to write it down, but I'll say it again. It's very simple. Indivisible.org. It's called Hands Off, and it's meant to be like Donald Trump hands off our government, Elon Musk hands off our government, and it's a whole bunch of protests tomorrow. By zip code, you can find one near you. That's how simple it is. But it's to protest the cuts of funding to USAID, to FEMA, to Medicaid, all of it, the whole thing, and the stock market crashing, which you can now add to our list of grievances. Indivisible.org.
Clear for takeoff. Call in, connect. To speak to Randi, call 561-270-3844. 561-270-3844.
Clearly, there will be an economic impact from the decisions that the US has taken, both here and globally. But I want to be crystal clear. We are prepared.
The administration's tariffs have no basis in logic, and they go against the basis of our two nations partnership. This is not the act of a friend.
I deeply regret the United States' decision to impose 20% tariffs on imports from across the European Union. We see no justification for this.
They were all unjustified, unwarranted, and in our judgment, misguided.
So those are the leaders of the UK, Mr. Starmer there, Keir Starmer, Australia, Anthony Albanese. This is not the behavior of a friend. You understand what's really being shattered here? I mean, I get that there are people in the stock market that lost an enormous amount of money. That's why I asked. I just wanted you to see that there are people who are, for through no fault of their own, that they have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some lost tens of thousands of dollars. Some lost $7 million. And even though he's quite the douchebag, he didn't do anything to deserve to lose $7 million today, except perhaps vote for Donald Trump. Maybe that's the $7 million, bet that he should not have made. I don't know. But the whole world is now involved in this. Ireland is involved in this. The UK is involved in this. You heard Australia involved in this. And the last one was Mark Carney from Canada is involved in this. President Xi from the People's Communist Republic of China just slapped 34% tariffs on us to reciprocate the 34% tariffs that Donald Trump put on, iPhones. Everything coming out of China. Everything. None of our shoes are made here. Do you understand that? Hardly any of our clothes. I don't even know what you wear every day, but I could tell you right now, whatever you're wearing right now came from over there. It didn't come from here. We don't have a textile industry. We don't make very much here. You know why? Because we don't do slave labor. That's why. This whole idea, and let me show you how this is so completely ridiculous. The whole idea that Donald Trump says he's doing all of this to all of us, to the whole world actually, to bring manufacturing back to the United States, And by manufacturing, he means, like sewing. He means shoemaking, like we'll all be cobblers or something, He means like making T-shirts and sweaters and, his Make America Great Again caps, which are made in China. Or his ties, which are made in China, or his shirts, or his sneakers, his golden sneakers, which are made in China, or maybe Vietnam, I don't know. No, his are made in China. The idea that we would want to bring that back here and pay people the way that we pay them, that we hope gets even better as far as minimum wage jobs go, we still couldn't compete with paying people $1 an hour in China or $1 an hour in Vietnam or less than that in Cambodia. But this is what he sees for you as your future, that he's going to bring back those jobs. And think about if he did. Okay. Let's say Donald Trump brings back sewing as a thing, or cobbler, shoemaking as a thing in the United States of America. Let's just say he does that, right? So you would need to pay somebody the federal minimum wage is, what, $7.35? State minimum wages are higher, but the federal is that. And so I'm guessing, that they would, shop around for the lowest state minimum wage that they could find. I don't know what that is. But just let's say it's $7. It's 7 times, basically, what a person in Vietnam is paid. So can you imagine, we bring these jobs back, we have to pay 7 times what they're paying in Vietnam, and then those shoes are for sale, and you're already paying $100 for them, and they come from Vietnam or they come from China. What are they going to cost, $700? What a great businessman he is. God, he's so freaking smart. Yeah, if you're into paying $700 for, a pair of shoes that are, available now for $100. I mean, this is so stupid. This makes no sense. If you just thought it out, if you just thought it through, you would say, why are we even interested in these jobs? Answer, we're not. This is retribution. This is Donald Trump retaliating for when he goes to the G7, when he was president last time, and they laughed at him. For when he went to the United Nations, and the whole world laughed at him. Do you remember that? This is Donald Trump's moment to get even. This is Donald Trump's retribution, and he told you he was going to do it, but you just didn't want to believe him. And now maybe you'll believe him, and you'll stop being MAGA. You'll stop it now. Because it's going to hurt you more than it hurts my audience. As you can see, because my audience was bold enough, brave enough, and willing enough to show you, to tell you the truth about how much they lost. And it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they are not going to suffer so much except for the emotional attachment and the emotional, so much winning, so much winning. You know what I mean? But they'll be okay. You know who won't be okay? Farmers won't be okay. You know who won't be okay? People in Ohio. People in Scioto County. People in northern Kentucky. People who make bourbon in Kentucky. They're not going to be okay. Do you know how long it's going to take before Canada actually opens its shelves to American whiskey or American bourbon? Ever, if ever? Do you know how long? Do you know how much trust was just broken because the United States would never do such a thing, except now it did? Do you understand what just happened here? The United States has tarnished its entire business reputation globally because of one psycho president. And we were always one psycho president away from this day. And people tried to tell you, and the people who tried to tell you weren't the people that were going to be hurt the worst. We'd be hurt, but we would not be hurt the worst if you voted for him. But there were people on the liberal side of things that literally made this happen. They did. They made it happen. They attached Joe Biden to what the right wing, ultra right wing was doing over there. Genocide always happens with right-wing people. It happens in fascism. It happens in Nazism. It happens in Stalinism. 22 million dead people. Ukraine got starved. The Holodomor. Those are right-wing people. Those are crazy, crazy, crazy people. That has nothing to do with being progressive. It has nothing to do with being a Democrat. It has nothing to do with being even a liberal. It has nothing to do with it. This always happens on the hard right. On the hard right. The hard left, they lose a lot of, people. But the hard right, they'll kill you.
Fatality. This is the Randi Rhodes Show. To speak with Randi, dial 561-270-3844. That's 561-270-3844.
What would you say to Americans who worry that they'll have to pay more in the short term?
Well, I'm not sure why they would have to pay more in the short term. That we don't know what the price effects are going to be. Will there be a one-time price adjustment? Could be, but we're also working on the tax bill, and for working Americans, I believe that the reduction in taxes is going to be substantially more.
I don't want to put words into his mouth. Does it sound to you like they're figuring it out as they go along, that they aren't really sure? Or let's talk about, this is your area of expertise, is there any question consumers are going to feel this?
Companies are going to have to figure out how to deal with these costs. And there's really three ways to do it. They absorb it, they share it with factories, or they pass it on. And the reality is a lot of companies, Target CEO spoke about this, mentioned prices will have to go up if tariffs come into place, and these were much broader than a lot of companies anticipated. It's affecting a lot of countries that they moved into, frankly, to avoid China. They were moving into places like Vietnam to make furniture and toys and clothing, and now Vietnam is facing a 46% tariff. So it's harder to go anywhere else and to source from anywhere else because these are so sweeping.
That's our Treasury Secretary. Well, people might not feel it, and they might. I mean, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Did you think this through? Scott Bessent, did you think this through? I don't think you thought this through. And you know what? Donald Trump's going to put your head in the guillotine and make you the fall guy for this mess. Do you really, really think that causing the stock market to crash in this spectacular manner, to where the MAGA people, here's Dave Portnoy, this is your moment of zen, Dave Portnoy crying about losing $7 million. These are the MAGA people.
I almost tweeted out, Dave, how much are you down right now and today? 7 million. I'm down 7 million bucks in stocks and crypto. And it's tariff city. Trump has put his tariffs all over the place. I've been trying to understand them. I don't. Like, it's more a trade deficit tariff to me. Like, hey, we get this much from you and you get this much from us. Let's even that up. Let's get some wacky formula and do tariffs. And everything's in the shitter because of it.
He sounds like a happy MAGA. He sounds like a very, very satisfied with his vote sort of a dude, doesn't he? $7 million he lost.
I just had a slice of Schadenfreude pizza.
I know. There you go. Hard to feel bad for him. Hard. But yeah, I mean, Scott Bessent, he's definitely. See that we're gonna wait for the announcement that Scott Bessent has been let go as Treasury Secretary of the United States of America, and that will also be a Schadenfreude moment. This is Brett's, beautiful gift to me is that word. I didn't understand what that word was, and he used it one day, and I said, well, what is that? He said it's when you you really don't feel so sorry for somebody because they've caused it themselves.
To even take it a step further, it is reveling in their misfortune.
Reveling.
Yes,
see, and I can't go there. Didn't I say that the first time? I said, no, I can't go there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
Come join me.
I know.
Water's great.
No, I can't. I can't be happy for somebody else's sadness. It's just, I don't know. I never got fully there on that. But do I feel bad for him? No, I don't. All right, Yuki in Florida.
Hi,
hey.
We're going to one of the events tomorrow in Boca Raton.
Indivisible.org, everybody.
Yes,
look it up.
They're all over Florida.
Yes.
I mean, from one coast to the next. So it's really, really a good thing everybody show up because you're right. Our 401ks, we're not going to get that money back, especially if you're retired. It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
I know. Because we're not contributing to it any longer. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's it's now been beaten to a pulp. I don't know how many years it will take to recover what we lost in just 2 short days, but I don't think I'm going to live long enough to see that.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think any of us are, and that's why we have to so desperately protest leave our Social Security alone because it might be the only thing we have left.
So, there are protests planned around the world now because this is no longer an American thing. It's a global thing. So there's protests in Berlin, in Frankfurt, in Vienna, in Brussels, in London, in Paris, Amsterdam, one of the greatest places in the world, Lyon, France, Nice, Lisbon, Portugal, Guadalajara, Mexico, and other locations. Please check your local listings at indivisible.org and attend. This is all pushback on all of the Doge bag cuts and the ruination of everybody's savings in 2 days. In just 2 days. Paul in Seattle.
Yeah, so the last 2 days, the Dow down 5.5% today, 3.8%. So 9.3% in the last 2 days, and I think it certainly declined about that other 0.7. So we do have officially a bear market now. I think the 10% correction within I don't know if it's 30 or 90 days, but it's certainly been 10% in the last week.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago too. We went into correction territory. It was 10%. I mean, we're just getting hammered out here.
Oh, it's after the election, I keep track of these numbers, and I know it was flirting just when Biden was just after the election. It was flirting with 46,000. I don't know if it passed, but it was at 45.8, 45.7, and now half of that is gone. Half of Biden took over. I'll give Trump. Let's say he started at 30,000. Remember the sacred number? It's sacred number, 30,000. Well, I think 46,000 is a more sacred number than 30, but in just since the beginning of the year, since January, it's down. The Dow is down, 15%. So it doesn't matter. We're in that.
It's horrifying. This is horrifying.
Well, his whole idea of, and everything you said in the last segment was just bingo right on. Okay, I remember back in the 80s when I was in graduate school, I had a labor econ course, and the professor saying, "What kind of society are we going to have in the 21st century?" And everybody says, everybody, did their reading. Said, "An information processing society, professor." Yeah, that's right. And I raised my hand. I said, because I said, well, we're going to just process information like process cheese. I mean, what are we going to do with it? Who's going to make stuff? And he said, "Oh, that's a good question, Paul. It's a real good thing to think about." I'm like, but what's the answer? And so now we know what the answer is. We don't produce things. It's a global economy. And this guy, just because, I don't know what he's a sick person. It's just because he can. There is no
I agree with you.
Theory or
no, there's no rhyme or reason. There's no theory at work here. If it is a theory, it's garbage in, garbage out, okay? Because it won't hold any water. But there is no theory. There's no grand plan. He hasn't addressed the nation to say this is why we're going to go through what we're going to go through. Everybody, we need to prepare ourselves for, this period of time is going to be rocky and bumpy, but we're going to send, I don't know, where are the Doge checks, right? They were going to send $5,000 to everybody, for the savings. No, they're contemplating yet another massive freaking tax cut unpaid for in Congress right now, and tanking the stock market at the same time and telling everybody nothing about why.
Well, Trump added $8 trillion to the debt in the last term,
yes,
and I guarantee it'll go over $10 trillion this time. Undoubtedly.
Oh, totally. I mean, look, this idea. Oh, we're going to cut $2 trillion in waste and fraud. There is not $2 trillion of waste and fraud in our government.
No.
Okay. If you wanted to talk about a couple of 100 million, $1 billion here, $1 billion there, yes. But there's nothing even close to $1 trillion in savings to be had unless you did one of two things. Reverse the Trump tax cuts from 2017, right? Because those were $2 trillion worth. Reverse those, let them sunset, okay? Or cut the entitlement programs that they call, cut the insurance programs that we have, cut Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid. That's it.
Well, that means they're stealing our money because those are really not entitlements. Those are benefits. But
not only are they stealing that money or trying to steal that money, okay, but they're stealing the money that's already been appropriated for things like LIHEAP. Okay, LIHEAP is a $1 billion program to help people pay for their heating when they can't pay, or their air conditioning when they can't. Okay, 6.2 million people. Well, that was already appropriated because they did a continuing resolution, right? So this is still Biden's budget. In Biden's budget, these things are paid for. So where's the money?
Yeah.
Right.
It's
They're already
rip-off.
stealing, right? They're already stealing. So there you have it. I mean, in a nutshell, that money, the money that went to FEMA, the money that goes to HHS, the money that pays the salary for the 10,000 people, RFK Jr., who now admits he fired the wrong people. I'm so surprised. Their salaries were appropriated by Joe Biden, right? And the money is going to those bank accounts for FEMA, for USAID, for LIHEAP, but there's no one to get paid because they fired the entire staff of LIHEAP. So where's the money? Where did it go? They're stealing everything.